Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Track and Field Edition. And my guest for this week's show was none other than sophomore on the track and field team here at Menlo College, Logan Pine. Logan, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
You're very welcome. Let's start by talking a little bit about yourself. Now, Tim Blumenthal told me back in cross-country season that you love to eat just about anything, which doesn't necessarily surprise me because I hear that from a lot of student athletes on campus. What are your three your three all-time favorite foods?
Yeah, so it's funny actually. There's a thing that we kind of have on the team. It's like about food and eating as a distance runner. I love to eat, and so my top three favorite foods, I'd have to say sushi is one of them for sure. I can really go in on some sushi. Definitely gelato is a second.
Yeah, good choice for number two.
I had gelato on my birthday, actually.
Nice.
And the third is Mexican street tacos. Like with the lime, cilantro, all that stuff.
Yes, and it has to be the street taco from the little portable or like the food truck or whatever. Yep. Like it's got to be those.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
those are the best.
That's a solid, and it's a solid list, and it has a nice variety to it. You kind of cover all the bases right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I mean, you can have them all in the same day. I mean, it's not like you could get sick of any one of them.
I mean, you could have them all at the same meal.
Yeah, definitely.
Theoretically.
I totally agree.
It'd be a little bit strange, but hey, I mean, whatever works. Now, going back to the interview I had with Tim, he said that sushi can be a snack. Do you agree with that?
I remember that. Yeah, I think so. I think if you had... I mean, maybe at like a party or something, you had like, is it like finger food?
Yeah, kind of like an hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, but not like multiple sushi rolls, just like maybe pieces here and there.
Yeah, so if you're going like individual ones, it's a snack, but if you put them all together, then you're going meal at that point.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that.
Okay, that's fair enough. Now, you're from Sparks, Nevada, but I wouldn't really guess that looking at you because you kind of give off, as someone said back in the fall, kind of like the beach bum kind of vibe a little bit. Even though you're covered up and you got multiple jackets on right now, do you see yourself living on the beach in like some type of alternate universe?
I do. You know, honestly, I think I could see that in the future. I just love nature, and whether it's the beach or like out in the forest somewhere in a cabin, like that would totally work for me too. I think this it's funny because, you know, everyone thinks like, oh, you know, like you said, you're from Nevada, you don't get that vibe. Actually, like South Lake Tahoe near Reno is like, that's totally the vibe there. It's kind of hipster.
Is it really?
Long hair, snowboarders, people like that. So I kind of pull from that a little bit. But, yeah.
I mean, hey, you fit right in with the California crowd too.
Yeah.
Maybe more so Southern California crowd, not so much Northern California, but our beaches aren't quite as warm as they are down there, but they'll do for someone like you who's a little bit more inland and all you have is Tahoe. Now let's talk a little bit about the team here. You guys are getting close to 1 month left during the regular season, and you guys are still taking down program records in every single meet you've run this year. How determined are you guys to compete not only at the highest level, because obviously that's something you want to do, but also to compete at the highest level that this program's ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a phenomenal season so far. Really surprised with how well we've done so far, actually, when it comes to the school records. We were expecting to definitely hit some school records, but we've kind of just started picking them off one by one, it seems like, every week. And we were very determined. You know, since Coach Crines and Coach Patrick have come into the program, it seems that they have raised the bar a little bit. The expectation, the standard we have as a team is so much higher. And so that's just kind of what we preach at each other in practice, in team meetings, is we want to be the best of the best, you know, and so that's that kind of mentality that goes after the school records. We want to get to nationals. We want to do these really big things for the program, and something that this program hasn't seen in a long time. And it's evident as we're taking down a lot of the school records. Yeah,
and I like that you bring up Coach Crines and Coach Patrick, first year on the staff. You talk about them setting a higher standard for you guys. What else have they really done to help elevate things for you guys and gals on the team?
They've definitely instilled in us an elite mindset. It's not just about being collegiate athletes or just student athletes. It's about being like the professionals. You know, they're really big on showing us workouts that professionals are doing, quotes, things like that, diets, how they live. And it's like, if you want to be the best, you have to live like the best. You have to train like the best. And it's like, that's kind of one of our catchphrases as a team is be elite. I don't know if you see that on any of our social media.
I have,
hashtags.
yes.
It's be elite. And so we kind of throw that word around, like Coach calls it a buzzword at practice sometimes. And that's kind of the mindset that they've brought into the program. And I think that's kind of ties in definitely with the success we've had so far and will hopefully have in the future.
Yeah, not just what you're doing on the track is important, but also off the track to get you prepared for what you're going to do on the track. Now, a few weeks back, you were part of the distance medley relay team that broke the school record. As someone who's not a runner and doesn't know much about it, how difficult are those 4 parts of the races to run? And is there one that's tougher than another part?
So they're all, I mean, in their own respects, they're all fairly tough. The 1200, which was my leg, is probably one of the odder races. It's not an official outdoor event, and so it was hard for me to kind of pick up on that and learn how to pace it. I wanted to try to pace it like an 800, but then again, you got to think it's like kind of like almost to a mile as well, and so. It was awesome though, breaking the record. Everyone did a great job, and I wouldn't say any event is harder than the other. I mean, if you asked me to sprint a 400, I would not do nearly as well as Elijah could, or in the same respects as Marco, who ran the 800. I couldn't do that either, So I think we each added our own taste to it very well, and that's what makes it so fun, is kind of clashing all of the different speeds and perspectives on that. So,
and all you guys are certainly preparing for the GSAC Championships just a couple of weeks away in Santa Barbara. How do you feel the team is going to be prepared for the rest of the teams in the conference at that championship meet?
I think we're ready. We have some high-ranked spots right now per event. Elijah's up there in the jumps, in the 400. Myself, Marco, Benji, we're up there in the 1500 and the 5K. And so I think we're ready to bring it. We're going to have a few breakout performances here soon, I feel, from some of our younger guys, from, just from everyone, I think. I just think we're ready to compete against those bigger schools like Westmont, Masters. We're ready to go after those single events and then just see what we can put together. So I think we're totally ready.
Seems like it. That championship meet coming at the end of April. All right, Logan, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
All right.
Question number 1, which teammate is most likely to steal all of your snacks?
So this one made me laugh. Benjamin Runo, my roommate, he is, so he's from Kenya, and their culture over there is different, obviously. They have this very big idea of sharing. And so what he thinks is like, whatever you have is also mine, and whatever I have is also yours. And so it was hard for me to get used to this at first, but I would definitely say Ben. So like I'll have a banana on my desk or something in the dorm room and come back the next day or a few hours later and it's gone. And so I'll ask him about it and he'll be like, hey man, like you put it there, like it's free, fair game, and he's like, do you want one? Like you can have one of my bananas. And so he actually does that frequently. He'll just take whatever. And so, but it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
So it's a loving relationship.
Oh, for sure. There's no animosity there whatsoever.
Yeah.
You understand the difference, but that's just funny that now you kind of have to double down on everything you get because you know he's going to take one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe he'll take both if you bring 2. So
yeah,
who knows?
But he'll give it back. So that's the best part.
Give and take.
Yeah.
That is the best part.
Definitely.
Question number 2, which teammate is most likely one day to drive one of those old Volkswagen vans?
So this one was interesting. At first I wanted to say myself.
Yeah.
Because it was like, kind of hipster or whatever.
That's what I thought too.
Or whatever, but I didn't want to be like, conceited. So
if you'd call it that.
Yeah. But definitely Tim Blumenthal. He's kind of an old soul. He's very wise for a young guy. And he kind of just fits into that category. I could see him as an older person, just like chilling in his Volkswagen van, living out of it maybe even.
Yeah.
Though he's very tall, that would be kind of hard to do.
Yeah, that would be a little bit cramped, yes.
Yeah.
But I could see you driving one, Tim's riding shotgun, and you guys are like right now probably like parked in a parking lot, surfboard on top. and it could be like an album cover for something. It has that feel to it.
I totally see it.
Let's make it happen. Let's get the mixtape rolling. Logan and Tim in the Volkswagen van. And then question number 3, which teammate could rival you in growing the best man bun?
Man, this is a tough one. I think Connor Oldham for sure. So his hair he's growing it out right now. And sometimes he'll put it up in like a mini man bun where he leaves the back part down. It looks pretty good. So I'm getting kind of fearful that he's coming on me. He might have a better man bun than me in a few months.
That'll be tough to do though, because you've had yours established now for a little bit.
I have, yeah.
But you also took it after Noble kind of left his long hair.
I did. So Noble was actually kind of the inspiration.
Was he?
For mine in the first place. I wanted to grow it out, but then I saw Noble's and I was like, I'm definitely doing this. So it was kind of sad to see his go.
Yeah, I mean between you, Noble, and Connor, you guys got some great hair on the team. You probably have the best sets of hair of any team on campus. It's remarkable. At least the ratio of people who have long hair compared to the number of athletes on the team.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, and I mean, you should see our sprinters as well. Elijah's got beautiful dreads.
Yeah.
And then Ian's got this huge afro, and so it's like we got it going.
You can't top the hair on the men's track and field team at Menlo College. Just not possible. Logan, thanks for joining me on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. Folks, the track and field team, they're off this weekend. They were supposed to head down to Cal State East Bay, but that's not happening. So the next time they will be in action next weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, as they take part in a couple of meets down at Azusa Pacific and Long Beach. High levels of competition down there, so the Oaks looking to turn a few heads down in Southern California. We invite you to tune into the next episode of Unrooted Track and Field Edition, when Logan Pine will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.